This is Outdated, and welcome back to Outdated Reviews. This is episode 10, where I look at role-playing game products and give you a score from 0 to 10. And today we're looking at Fallout, the role-playing game. This is the core book by Modiphius Entertainment, partnering, of course, with Bethesda. So I love the cover here because it looks like the jumpsuits from Vaults and Fallout, when Vault 111 is the one here. But this is a hardcover. There's our spine. It is a flat spine, as you can see here. Here's the back of the book, definitely selling the fact that it's Fallout. You're special. Immerse yourself in the genre-defining setting with the official Fallout tabletop role-playing game. Create your group of original characters, including Vault Dwellers, ghouls, super mutants, and even robots. Tell your own stories of survival in post-nuclear America using a host of non-playable characters and horrific, mutated creatures. Use iconic weapons, armor, chems, and items translated straight from the video game. Scavenge the ruins of the old world and make your mark on the wasteland. Utilize the 2D20 system, a role-playing rules set that supports both story-led adventures and detailed gameplay. So, Modiphius, their in-house system is the 2D20 system. Kind of like we've looked at Free League products before. Their in-house system is Year Zero, although they don't always use it. Same with Modiphius and the 2D20. First, let's get a sense of the size of this book. This is a different product of theirs, but I want you to see this. It's the same size. It's a standard hardcover size. This game also uses the 2D20 system, actually. The most of Modiphius games do. Now, their system, the 2D20 system, is quite adaptable. How it works is you roll, wait for it, 2D20, right? And whatever your difficulty number is, you're wanting to roll that number or below on as many of those 20-sided die as you can. You can do things to get more 20-sided die to roll. I mean, like, you could potentially roll like 5 20-sided die and trying to get a 10 or below on all 5 of them, right? Or as many 5 as well. You may need a certain amount of successes, whatever it is, right? If you roll low enough, it counts as more than one success, so that's kind of how you can balance it out. Some of the 2D20 systems are very rules light, or not, for lack of a better term, crunchy. Example of that would be the Star Trek Adventures rule set. It is 2D20 as well, but it's very light. I would say Fallout, the opposite end of that. I think it's very crunchy, to the point where not only are you, everything boils down to specific body parts and how much armor you have and what it does to the armor, and you roll a die to determine that. There's a lot, okay? So we're going to take a look inside this really nice hardback book here in just a second. But before we do that, we should probably get a word from our sponsors. Okay? Go ahead and play the sponsor tape. We did? That was it? That was the whole thing? Did they see it? You promised they saw it. You promised they know we actually had a sponsor. Okay, cool. So, there. Thank our sponsors. What is it called? Nothing Incorporated? Yeah, that's it. Let's take a look at this book. All right. So, first off, right off, you might see this guy. Love these. Ribbons as bookmarks usually means we've got a stitch-bound book. Let's take a look. We do. There's the stitching, and there's the eye. It's not a very big eye. Question is, does it have to be? How big is this bad boy? How many pages? We're back at 426 pages. I don't think we really need that big of an eye. But let's go ahead and start taking a look at this. So already you're evoking the games, right? And I feel like normally this is something I'm looking for. I'm looking for rules that I can understand. I'm looking for rules to create characters, rules on running the game. An adventure would be good. I think that you need to have an adventure in here somewhere, like a sample that I can use. So let's see what all this has. Okay, so all right, now this is very Fallout. Like the imagery, that's something I'd have to add to my wants or expectations here. Is I want this to feel like I'm playing a Fallout game. Say Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 3. Or, God help us, Fallout 76. But either way, oh, look at that. That does it right there. That's Fallout right there. That is gorgeous. Okay, welcome to the wasteland. War never changes. There's another, oh boy, look at that. All right, here's the core rules and how the system works. Here's a picture of the dice. So basically you use 20-sided dice, like I said. And the core, the base is 2d20, but you can roll more. There's a 20-sided die. You can see it there used for, like, hit location. And then your damage dice are these, they're custom dice. And so, there's a translation thing and all that if you want to deal with that. Let's see. We go through here. It does have target numbers, opposed test, group data. It has all the rule stuff, but I kind of already explained it. One thing they pulled straight out of Fallout is action points. If you ever played the game and you use the VAT system, it eats up a certain amount of action points, right? This does the same thing. And I can actually give my opponent, like the the GM also has action points. And so if I need to do something and I really want to do something to like add some damage or add a better chance to hit, I can give the GM action points to use against me so that I can do a better job of taking care of this situation. So I know some people don't like it because it feels like GM versus players, but I do like that idea of a back and forth. And if you are just refereeing, if people die, they die. If they don't, they don't. And, you kind of go with it from there. So I can see the complaints. Oh, wow, look at that. I can see the complaints. I mean, like, totally. I get it. All right, so we've got the details on combat. We'll go through a lot here. I'm going to start skipping some pages. We are still in combat. You'll see up here, it's got all the chapters, and they're highlighted when you're there. Okay, I actually passed combat there, so let's go back. Okay, character creation. So let's see. Here's our stats. They're the same stats as in the game. Special, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. Then you have skills. A bunch of those. Derived statistics. So like your carry weight, your tag skills, initiative, defense, health points, damage resistance, melee damage. Then you have perks. We'll get to those in a minute. Character advancement. There's your leveling up scale. Tops out at level 21. So when you look at creating a character, you're going to start with your origin. Think of like species, kin, but it's broader than that. So you've got a Brotherhood Initiate, a Ghoul, a Super Mutant. So that's cool. You can play stuff. Mr. Handy. That is the best ever. You get to play as a Mr. Handy. A Survivor. So a human that is actually part of the irradiated world. A Vault Dweller. That's it. Okay. Let's see. Then you get into the section on perks, and there are a lot of perks. It's just like in the game, including the fact that these can be really, really gory. Like this one. Here's a great example. See if I can get this up there. Piercing strike. He literally passed his hand right through the guy's chest. Thank you, Fallout, for being so adorably brutal. All right. Then we've got more derived stats. Nice picture here. Choosing your equipment. So it's based on what your origin is. Personal trinkets, tag skills, starting equipment. Now we're into equipment in general. And this, I think, is a pretty long section. Yeah, it's a long section. Let's see. Equipment. Oh, it's still equipment, okay? Still equipment, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. Almost there, I think. Just so you can get a sense, because you've got everything all the way from like a stick to power armor. Magazines, consumables. I mean, it is literally the Fallout games translated into a tabletop RPG. It really is. This is still equipment, guys. I'm going to tell you how many pages it is whenever I actually get to the point where I can find out how many pages it is. So you can get like a sense of this, the magnitude of this. There we go. So let's go there, and then let's go back to equipment. All right, that is our equipment section. So we're starting on page 84 and ending on page 187. Over 100 pages of just equipment, right? Then you get into survival. So how you stay alive. That's things like how fatigue works. Some light rules for scavenging are in here somewhere. Disease exposure, how you handle sleep. There's the scavenging I mentioned. Inhabitants, obstacles, and hazards. Loot tables, and they're all over the place here. Those loot tables are primarily under the survival section. I'm going to jump through here because we have more stuff. And like its frequency, including ammo, things like that. Okay, that's the end of that section. Now we go to corporations of pre-war America. In the Fallout universe, it was ultra-capitalist and ultra-nuclear power until that nuclear power destroyed everything. But even then, the company Vault-Tec, who built the vaults, did some pretty bad stuff in the name of capitalism. So it shows you the different corporations that existed then. And I remember reading this section. I got a lot of cool adventure ideas, like the Red Rocket gas station. Alone, I came up with several cool ideas. You have Poseidon Energy, Dunwich Borders LLC. If you think that's a reference to Lovecraft, you'd be right. You've got Arc Jet Systems, General Atomics International, MedTech, Hallucinogen Incorporated, Nuka-Cola Corporation, of course you do. Pulowski Preservation Services, Robco Industries, that one should be familiar. Service conglomerates, Hubris Comics, U.S. Robotics Disposal, Super Duper Mart Institute, or CIT, the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. In case you're curious, that's literally MIT in the real world. West Tech, I mean, that's what it's based off of. And now, we go all the way to a whole new chapter just on Vault-Tec. Because Vault-Tec is the company that created the vault. So I'm not going to waste your time, but it does go over several vaults in the Commonwealth and what happened in them and how you can like incorporate them. Now we get into the Commonwealth. We have a section on the areas of the Commonwealth and what's there. This art is so good, very evocative of the games. I'm trying to skip ahead. There's a lot of walls of text, but we do get the occasional picture to break it up. The paper, as you can tell, it's semi-thin, high-gloss paper, stitched binding. There's definitely a consistent design principle here. It really works all the way through. Okay, now we're going to game mastering. So we've got to a section that shows you how to actually run the game, all right? And this is one that I feel like some games just kind of miss out on. Because if you want your game to feel different than other things, you need to explain to whoever's going to game master it what that difference is, right? So we've got managing the rules, skill tests, oppose tests. What is the Fallout experience? What role do the vaults play? Dark humor, choices matter. Oh, this is so true. I just skipped a page there, so won't worry about that. On the road, doing stuff, the big decision, a bag full of caps. All that's great. Denizens of the wasteland. Now we're getting into, for lack of a better term, kind of like a bestiary. We've got types of NPCs. We've got creatures and what they could potentially do. Characters and what they can do. Here they are. Blood bugs, bloatfly, Brahmin. I like that we have images of these. Deathclaw, Dog, even though we really could get them quite easily from online. Mirelurk Queen, even. Mirelurk Hunter's over here. Mole Rat, Mutant Hound, I remember those. Rad Roaches, Rad Scorpions, Rad Stag, Stingwing, Yargul, or Bear, Ghouls, and these are the feral ghouls, not the ones that you can actually play as. Assaultron Robots, these guys. iBots, I'll never forget seeing those. Mr. Handies that have gone kind of crazy. The Mr. Gutsies, Protectron robots as well. Sentry bots, those things were always pretty cool. Then the evil super mutants running around. The super mutant behemoths. Super mutant brute. Super mutant master. Super mutant suicider. Oh god, I remember them. It was so fun to shoot that little nuclear grenade in their hands and blow them and their friends up. Synth, I just realized that makes me sound bad. Synths. Corsair. Synth Strider. So what? He's a ranger. Synth Trooper. Turrets, yes. Different levels of turrets and what they do. Brotherhood of Steel members. From elders to knights to paladins, scribes, lancers. Raiders, you got a raider, raider boss, raider psycho, raider scabber, raider veteran. You got wanderers like Children of Adam. Gunners, mercenary, minutemen, railroad agents, institute scientists, traders, caravan merchants, vault dwellers, wastelanders, and Zetans or aliens. More beautiful. And here we go with a bang. This is actually an adventure. I feel like when looking at this, this adventure could easily take place immediately after the adventure in the starter set. It feels like one just leads right into this. Now, you could do other stuff in between to get it there, but it assumes that what happened in the first one happened. That's a minor quibble, but yeah. And so you have the, and now these are scene-based. These are not, what's the word I'm looking for? Adventures in Fallout, at least the ones I've seen, are linear, like most adventures nowadays. They're not sandbox like the old days. Although there are still games out there that do it, and you could definitely do it in Fallout. The ones we've been given have all been sandbox. Then you got the appendices. Lots, like you got your index. That's a lot. You've got some great art. The character sheet, front, back. If this doesn't make you think of Fallout, I don't know what does. That's gorgeous. And your stats go right here on the same scale as in the game. And I love the use of please stand by at these two spots. I think that is fantastic. Yes, it's a waste of space. You're not really doing anything, but you are setting the tone for Fallout. If you know anything about Fallout, that's how all the games start. So that is a complete look at Fallout the Roleplaying Game by Modifius Entertainment. So, what do I give this thing? Alright. Looking at a scale to 0 to 10. I do have some quibbles. I do think the system is a little crunchier than I would like, but I do think that crunch fits Fallout perfectly. If you've played the games, you know how crunchy it can be when you're aiming at specific body parts and stuff. So it fits. So I feel like I need to not really hurt it that bad for that. It's more of a personal preference, right? The art is fantastic. The book is very high quality. It's nice glossy paper. I'm going to give Fallout the Roleplaying Game by Modifius Entertainment a 9 out of 10. It's fantastic. If you are into Fallout and you want to play Fallout and roleplay in the world of Fallout, get this book. Now, I need to give you real quick a word of warning. There is another product out there called Fallout Wasteland Warfare. It's a miniature battles game, skirmish level, I believe. There's an add-on for it that allows you to incorporate role-playing in your Fallout Wasteland Warfare. It's its own Fallout role-playing game. That is not this. This is its own thing. And right now, to be completely honest, there are only 3 physical products in this line. The core rulebook, which I have, the starter set, which I have and will review in the future, and information pack that comes with like a pad of character sheets and stuff like that. That's it. Now they've released 2, because it's relatively new, they've released 2 DLC or downloadable PDF adventures. They're both pretty good. I'm just checking here. This was 2021. So the starter set probably came out right after that somewhere. And now we're in 2023 and they're releasing those PDF adventures. So again, a 9 out of 10. I highly recommend you check this out if you're a Fallout fan. Even if you're not, if you were a fan of the old Gamma World back in the day, this is like a more modern take on it with a much better sense of humor, I guess. Check this out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you on our next outdated review. Peace.